Hey folks, welcome back another Opponent Master video, and I haven't done this in a while. Mostly because again, I'm busy, but then also with every month that it adds on to the next month, it's like there's more and more units. I feel like, oh man, that's so many. So I guess we might as well do it eventually sometime before it keeps on adding up to way too many. So yeah. Let's do it. But again, just do the amount of units. We have to probably go through and all that. We're just gonna split this into just damage healers, supports, or your utility, I guess, right? And then hybrids. So for today, let's just do damage healers. And as usual, big shout outs to Runner for helping me out with this, discussing all this stuff. So yeah, the usual stuff here applies. And for this one, now that high score events a thing, we are also factoring that in as well. A lot of things for example, damage guard or evasion, or even super effective or not. Those also have, I guess, implications there, right? So anyways, okay, let's get into this. I guess we'll just talk about some of the changes. There's a lot of changes, obviously. I mean, can't really go over every single one of them, but just a few interesting ones, I guess. At least I think they're slightly interesting to sort of point out, I suppose. So yeah, of some of these units, maybe at the top, let's see. Singsu Karina, she's I think she didn't change her spot. Either didn't change her spot or went up one, but she got a nice partner in Victor, right? Having the ability, for someone else to help haze, so she makes sure she gets her multipliers in on the sync, right? So that's very, very, very nice for her. Obviously, Victor also sets Ghost Zone, so that's a very, very good combo over there. What else? Yeah, I mean, Hugh. I know, normal type damage dealer, but now with Palmer with normal zone, he could actually do some really, really legitimate numbers off of those. So that's really cool. Hilda, who just recently got an expansion. Really, really powerful there as well, right? Same deal with Elisa, Chris. We already know, these sort of units, right? So yeah, what else? I guess Nears Volkner is probably one of those victims of the high score event. He's still as good as he was, right, when you're fighting electric weak stages, but obviously a high score event, very rarely would you have your same type being super effective against the opponent. There probably would be some cases versus maybe Ghost or Dragon or whatever, right? But in most case scenarios, it's not gonna really do anything. And Volkner's a lot of his kit gets drastically cut back, right, when there is none of that super effective stuff, not just the damage. So I guess maybe that could be a bit of a thing against him. What else? Blue got his recent-ish, I guess. I don't know. It's been 2 months. Expansion as well, right? Helped fix his big issues, whether it's for his own self buffs or for the fact that his sync kind of sucks, right? And now it's good. Now it's good. So yay, hooray for Mr. Blue. Blue's been winning a lot recently. What else? I guess yeah, the recent Fantina grid was really, really good as well. I guess Wally's was nice. It wasn't great, but I mean, he always had a good, his base was always really, really nice, right, with that focus blast. That damage is always legitimate. And Caitlyn, big boost, right, because she could actually give you some really, really nice numbers now, so that's nice to see. Anyways, so yeah, now that we went over, I guess, some of the interesting changes, right, let's go over the new units. I believe we haven't done this since, I want to say, Alola Villain Arc, which is what, 3 months ago, 3-4 months ago. So again, there's a decent amount of these units over here. So let's get started then. Let's go from the most recent one. This one's really, really extremely obvious that the Neo Champion Red's gonna go to the highest tier instantly. He's incredible. The damage he does DPS wise, Sync's really, really good as well. The B move damage, right? The amount of times, he could, again, the guaranteed freeze, although that's more about a hybrid thing, but still just incredibly powerful. He's Neo Champion Red, right? I mean, would you have expected anything less, honestly? So okay, so yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what else. This variety lance, low key, is also very, 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 very powerful. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the thing with like lances, except I guess the OG lance, now they got its synchroned expansion, right? Is just they just really do just good damage straight up, right? Just raw damage dealers, very, very, very good at all that. That, you know, sometimes takes a bit to set up, right? For, I guess, the other ones outside of just OG lance. But yeah, he's really, really good there. He got some utility with status, all that stuff as well, right? So he's an incredibly powerful unit. Again, just very, 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 very big damage, right? So yeah. Speaking of big damage, we got the recent Galar Veilanark Rose here as well. He is slow, which is his drawback, right? Which, I mean, if he didn't have that issue, he'd be up there as well. But the AoE max moves incredibly powerful. His own DPS, all that stuff is all just very, 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 very strong. Again, main drawback being the speed thing, right? But all the other coverages, all that stuff, right? Just a powerful unit, right? Speaking of powerful steel type damage dealers, Tate is crazy. I don't know why. They just decided to drop like Liza and Tate as like the summer units and make them just hit insanely hard, right? And yeah, both of them big damage dealers. Obviously, Liza's a bit more straightforward, right? The big gig impact damage, right? Well, the physical move up next that she could get. Tate, on the other hand, takes a bit more maneuvering, right? But his damage is you know, top of the list, right? In terms of steel type, all that stuff. It's incredibly powerful and relatively cheap too, right? The you know, to get going, all that stuff. So yeah, that's some of those. Let's see what else. Palmer, again, hits nothing for super effective, but is always just very, very powerful. Crush Grip does get a lot weaker after like maybe like half bar, right, of the opponent, but before that it hits incredibly hard. The B move is just one of the most craziest moves in the game, right? And this guy also has like a max move that does a bunch of damage. His sync does a bunch of damage. Again, he sets normal zone as well on top of all that stuff. His gauges aren't great, right? So again, there are drawbacks, right, for some of these units. Could be one of the issues why they're not higher, but like, I mean, they're still crazy good, so like, who cares really? Let's see what else. Using don't this is a unit that doesn't really get talked about as much, right? But like, he's really good. It's like, you know, again, just like people don't talk about this guy, probably just because he's like the 2000th, you know, big like water type damage healer that's in the game. But his numbers are legitimate, right? His wow, I haven't updated that, I guess. The numbers are legit. If I could even find him, bro. But yeah, his setup is pretty easy too, right? The AoE stuff is really nice. Like the gauges, he really good on that as well. All that stuff. I mean, you know, you also have a Blizzard, right? Being one of the stronger special ice type damage dealers in the game, which you know, back at the time was one of the better Irida partners, but now obviously Neo Champion Red exists, so that's big as well. But yeah, you also have this like 20% chance straight up like AoE flinch, which is also really good. So yeah, just no damage reduction on the AoE stuff. It's just, yeah, it's he's powerful. It's just that I guess people don't care as much. Okay, and I guess for this tier, one last unit let's put up here. Let's go with Sigilith and Olympia, which, I mean, slightly surprising, I guess, being like just a random spotlight unit out of like nowhere, just in the middle of July, I believe, right? It was, or something. But she's incredibly powerful, right? Her damage is through the roof, right? She's only a 2-gauge damage healer, but like that 2-gauge hits incredible. I mean, it's a sword powered unit. It's really hard to screw up sword power units, right? As long as you just give them like solid enough base stats and a reasonable amount at least of self buffs, they're going to be very powerful. And Olympia obviously is in that category, right? I mean, yeah. And very gauge efficient as well, too, right? All that stuff. So let's see, who else we got left here? Well, the rest, unfortunately, none of these are exactly in that tier, but I mean, you know, some of them are pretty neat as well. I mean, Petrol's an interesting little unit over here, right? I mean, he obviously has the funny explosion thing, which he could totally do, especially after you EX support roll him, right? But I mean, just overall, he's just a solid, I guess, poison type damage dealer, right? It's not anything crazy, but it's definitely better than stuff like the Looker or what else is there? Marnie, the other Marnie, the Lodge Marnie, right? All that stuff. Next one probably in around the same tier, right? It's probably like Drasna. Again, her poison damage is pretty bad, but her dragon damage is alright. Alright, it's you know, you could we have it like around like the Zenyath here, right? They're you know, they're not, I don't feel like they're too far apart. Zenya's secondary damage is definitely better than Drasna's, but you know, Drasna's still alright. It's alright. Nothing too terrible, but also nothing too crazy there either. And as for the rest, do I even want Calum in here, or should we have Calum? I don't know. So this Irida's nice, right? Again, nothing insane, but she does have a pretty good nuke, right, for one. So yay, I guess. Good for her. Yeah, just make sure don't take yourself out. That should be fine, right? The damage is pretty alright. You know, aggravations don't really count on it too much. You're mainly just here to do some of that damage. So yeah, Irida's okay. What else? Valerie, I guess, right? Probably in the same tier. Maybe a tier lower. I mean, I don't know. She's kind of in between because like her damage is fine, right? But like, I don't know. If you just look at like this tier, like Summer Gloria, for example, that's better, right? Like Gardenia, those are definitely, I'd say, better. But she does have that extra like chance to flinch, which is nice for Ironhead. But yeah, her issue is definitely, first of all, damage isn't great, but also just very, very slow, right? So I feel like maybe she's more in line with like Bruno, I guess. She's kind of like a Bruno type. So if you want to have her lower, then that's fine too, I guess. I don't know. She's a rough unit, I suppose. But yeah, I guess that's mostly it. For this one, we'll probably move Calum to hybrid. I don't even know why he showed up here in the first place, but yeah, he's more of a, I don't know. Could be both. I mean, well, technically, like, hybrids could all be both, but you got the point, right? So anyways, yeah, that's me this one, I guess. Hope y'all jumping, guys. Think in the comments down below. Like, enjoy the videos from our channel, some more Poem Mouse's content, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's all we got over here, right, in terms of the damage shields. Again, we'll probably, you know, whatever runner has time, we'll go over the supports and hybrids as well. But yeah, lots have changed, I'd say. And yeah, the units are getting better. Not all of them. Some are kind of whatever, but you know, most of them are pretty nice, And we'll see. You know, once we get a few more high score events, right? Just see some of the like different conditions and all that stuff, bonus points. Maybe we'll get a better grasp of things. And you know, there's also that like new mode that's looming in the horizon. Hopefully that's gonna be nice and fun. That could maybe change things up a bit. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, that's me this one. Hope y'all enjoyed, guys. Think in the comments down below. Like, enjoy the videos for our channel. Some more Poem Mouse's content. I'll see you guys in the next one.